Hey guys, this video is going to be so cool. It's going to blow your mind. Today is all about the numbers. Now, before you say anything, don't say, I hate numbers, I hate math. Forget all that. This can actually really change your life, okay? So if you're a course creator, if you're a coach or consultant, even an artist, and you're looking to change your life by making a lot more money in the next 90 days, this video series that I've put together is going to show you how to do that. I've talked about pricing. I've also talked about your offer. Today, we're talking about the freaking numbers, man, that make a difference, all right? So let's dive in. And so the first thing, I want to tell you a story. So back in the early 2000s, I was a financial advisor. And I had done all right. You know, I was doing seminars back in the day, and I was doing maybe one every 6 weeks, maybe every 8 weeks. So like every couple of months doing a seminar. And I, by the way, qualified to go on a convention because of my production. So got to go to California, San Francisco Bay, and the company paid for a yacht, like this really cool, swanky yacht. And we were all on it. So it was a bunch of producers doing really well. So when I got to the boat, the guy that was hosting the thing, his name was Vishen. And Vishen and I were talking, we're just kind of vibing, and we talked about production. I talked about what I wanted to do and how much money I wanted to make and how much production I wanted to do. And he said, hey, see that guy over there? I said, yeah, that guy right there? I said, yeah, that guy right there, his name's Steve. Steve last year did $20 million. I said, I did one, he did 20. So I said, yeah, I want to go meet him, man. Let's introduce me, man. Tell me what's going on. So we go over there, meet Steve, cool dude, about my age. I was in early 30s at the time. And we start talking, and he says, yeah, I work at a CPA firm, but I do seminars. And yeah, I did 20 million. Actually, it was more than 20 million. It might've been 23, 24. Of course, the firm kept part of that, right? But he was doing really, really well. I said, man, what's your sauce, man? What do you do? He said, well, let me ask you. You said you do seminars. How many do you do? And I told him that I do one every 6 weeks, maybe every couple months. How are you doing them? I do them in hotels. I was printing flyers and just meeting people, talking about financial concepts. And Steve was like, okay, well, what would happen if you did one a month? I was like, okay. Kind of like what I'm doing right now. I just thought it'd take a little bit more work, one a month. I didn't really see it. Then he said, all right. He said, what if you did, instead of one a month, what if you did 2 a month? I did what I just did. That's my my eyes started rolling in my head to try to figure that I'm okay, 2 a month. That means, every other week. I started thinking logistics, like, oh my God, that's gonna be so hard. And I print the flyers, I'm meeting with this group of people. I gotta sell these people, and I gotta go back and show these people how to do it. And another seminar, it's gonna be really busy. I didn't have all the infrastructure, blah, 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 all that stuff, right? And he looked at me, he said, okay, what if you did, now I did think I'd be doing more production, but I was focused on it be harder, like a lot more work to be able to do that, right? And even then, just on the 2 a week, that's like double my production, right? Double maybe, depending how you look at it. If I was doing one every 6 weeks, 2 a week, I mean, that's almost 3 times. 3, whatever. It's a lot more, right? Financial guys always need calculators, don't hate. So, but then he dropped the bomb on me. He said, Mike, what if you did 1 a week? Now at this point, I knew that was a lot of work. I was like, I didn't know how I was going to figure out, but what clicked was this. I said, 1 a week? I'm doing like one every, not even 1 a month. If it was 1 a month, that'd be 4 times the production and income. But I was doing one every 2 months. So that's 8 times the production and income. By the way, I think I made 70,000 that year. Okay, so here's what happens, and I hope you're tracking. What the light bulb that went off in my head, just like this, is like, wait a minute, that's 8 times the income. But I thought about it another way. I said, wait a minute, This dude's doing what I produce, what I would take 8 years to produce, he's compressing it and doing it all in 1 year. Are you catching that? 8 years of production in 1 year. And then that wasn't even the big bomb. The big bomb was, he said, Mike, I do 2 a week. This guy was doing 16 years of production of activity into 1 year of my activity. And so guys, this is what I'm talking about. When we're talking about the numbers, if you take a look at how many times in a week, month, that you are actually in front of somebody, asking them, giving them the opportunity to buy your goods or services, I can promise you right now, without a shadow of a doubt, now this is assuming you have something that you're really good at, that you offer, that you deliver, right? Something that you're really good at. As long as you've got that, and the other things that we talked about, pricing and all that other stuff, that's something that you can work on later. But just right where you're at, if you have something that's really good at, if you just do this one thing, you hop in front of so many more people, it's ridiculous. And I mean, it doesn't matter what you do to make that happen. Hey, what's going on, Aries? Doesn't matter what you do to make that happen. Jump in front of as many people as you possibly can to get what I call your shots. How many shots you take per game, and your game is a month. You can make that game a week. You can make that game a day, right? This is the difference that it makes. And what I want to really, really share with you, you don't have to change anything about your offer, your pricing, or anything. That one thing, right? Yet, that one thing will change the game for you. Will change the game. Another story, I coached high school basketball and junior high for a little bit, but total of 5 years. I played college hoop. So my son was a baller, hooper, and in junior high, he was averaging 10 points a game. And he asked me, he said, hey, I wanna average more points. I wanna average like 15 points a game. What do I need to do? I wanna go work on my shot. That's what he said. I wanna go work on my shot and go work on my dribbling skills, my handles. I said, you really don't need to do that. You have a great shot and your handles are pretty good for where they're at. So he asked me, well, what do I do? So, well, what's your shooting percentage? At the time, he was making layups and things like that. It was right around 50%. I said, so here's what's going on. You're taking 10 shots and you're making half of them and you're averaging 10 points a game, right? Yep. And I said to him, I said, what if 16? I said, what if you shoot 16 shots a game? And he said, he started doing the looking around thing, right? Means thinking, well, my teammates might think I'm a gunner. Nope, that didn't come. I don't see any teammates here. That's from you, not them. I'm not saying being a gunner. I'm saying when you're open, shoot it. And all you need to do is, instead of taking 2 or 3 shots a quarter, make sure you take 4 shots a quarter. 4 times 4 is 16. Half of that is 8 that you make, times 2 is 16. Well, he averaged more than that. He averaged about 18 that year, because he made a couple threes in there. I want you to notice there was no change in his shot, no change in his handles, his dribbling, nothing, just more shots. Okay. The next couple of years later, he was a junior. Going into his junior year, he said, Dad, I want to average 20 points a game. I got to work on my shot. I got to work on my handles. I go, skirt, hold on. No, you don't. What do I need to do? And I was like, in my mind, like, are we really having this conversation again? You need to shoot more, man. So here's what I want you to do. Instead of 4 shots a quarter, I want you to take at least 5. At least 5. 5 times 4 is 20 shots a game. 50% of that's 10. You're shooting a little bit lower than that. 10 buckets, 20 points, right? That's kind of what's going on there. So I said at least 5 to 6. That's what I said. And make sure you're open and it's your shot. If it is, don't think about it, let it go. Guys, that year he averaged 24 points a game. He's one of the leading scorers in all of San Antonio and all surrounding areas. And I think he was a top 10 scorer, and he was the #1 3-point shooter, had the most 3-point buckets than anybody by far, like by 60 that year. Are you catching what I'm putting down? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Because what I'm putting down, guys, is like So many of us as entrepreneurs, course creators, coaches, consultants, we get caught up in our minds. I need to iterate my program, my course. Iterate means make better. No, don't do that. Don't do that. That's what everybody does. I need to do that. I need to, all of these other things that we get caught up in that we need to do. No, you don't. You just need to take more shots. So what does that look like? It looks like this, that on your 100% of what you do in your business, instead of 80% being, oh, how can I make my product or course or service better? How can I add this or take away that? Stop all that. Cut all that out immediately and take out of your full day. You want to take, it's the 80-20 guys. 80% of what happens. In other words, the 20% that I want you to focus on that's going to be responsible for the 80% of everything that happens, the results, your income, your sales, needs to be sales and marketing, period. Asking people to buy, period. You can even move that down. The 5% that's going to move 95% of your business is what I just said. It's taking shots, doing more, having more, doing more of what you're doing. I promise you, if you invest in your energy and everything that's in your business based on what I just said and taking shots, more offers, whatever you want to call that, you will change your business, you will change your life, your family's life, the way you live and everything else. And if you add these other things that I'm showing you, pricing and your offer and packaging and all those things, guys, you can blow away anything that you ever thought of. While everybody else is out there with the shiny object syndrome, looking at this course, that course, and they're spending all this time consuming all these courses and this knowledge on YouTube, more knowledge, more knowledge, more knowledge. Knowledge is paralyzing people. People have mental obesity from too much knowledge. Let it go. Put action in it. Put action into what I just said. Your marketing, take your sales and marketing and taking shots. Do that, you'll change your life. I hope this helps. Again, if you're a course creator, consultant, I don't know why I don't have that wrapped down, course creator, consultant, coach, business, any of those things, and you're having issues with your sales, because this is what it all comes down to, guys. Nothing happens in life without a sale happening or somebody buying something. You can reach out. There's a link in the description. Either work with Mike, there may be a link to a newsletter by the time you watch this, whatever it is, that's how you can get a hold of me. If not, I hope you enjoyed this content, and I promise you, it will change your life. It will change your life. There was, going back to the story of Steve, just to finish it out, took his advice, and in within a couple of years, I got up to where I was doing, $8 to $10 million a year in production. Not the 20 he was doing, but a significant amount more than what I was doing by taking more shots. I hope this helps. I know it will if you apply it. And again, if you want some more help, there's another video coming up.